Okay, students, so let's see the next chapter, that is the nervous system. Okay, so what we have to study from this chapter, the syllabus is telling that nervous system, we have to know the structure of neuron. Okay, this they can ask for exam. The structure mostly they ask for 1.5 mark. Okay, then we have central autonomous peripheral nervous system. Okay, in brief you have to know brain and spinal cord. Now here brain and spinal cord, the main question which they ask is the arrangement of axon and cyton, gray and white matter in brain and spinal cord. Reflex action, mostly they ask for definition, and in definition quick autonomous quick response. Okay, and how it differs from voluntary action. Okay, the scope of syllabus, that is in detail what you have to know is part of the neuron, various part of external structure of the brain and its primary parts, medulla oblongata, cerebrum, cerebellum, thalamus, hypothalamus and pons. Their functions, reference to the distribution of white and gray matter in brain and spinal cord, as I said before, voluntary and involuntary actions, meaning with examples, a brief idea of peripheral autonomic nervous system in regulating body activities, diagrammatic explanation of reflex arc, very important, difference between natural and acquired reflex. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. See, every organism must somehow become aware of what is going on around it. Okay, so we have to be aware that what is going around it, and accordingly we have to perform actions for the survival. Okay, as per how the environment is outside, in that only we have to respond accordingly. Apart from actions which provide adjustment to the external environment, there are so many activities going on inside our body of which we are unaware. There are so many activities which goes in our body and we are unaware. For example, say simple activity like heart beating, then digestion, the hormones are running from one part of the body to another, the oxygen is being transported, carbon dioxide is being taken out. So, okay, all such activities have to be properly timed and coordinated. Okay, it should be properly timed and coordinated. We should go together. Okay, means whenever you want to do something, at that time the energy should be transported to that part. For example, I am writing now, so the blood should flow more to my hand when I am writing, and my thinking should also work at the same time what I will be writing. Imagine thinking take place after 5 hours. Your energy is already there. What you will write is just strokes of line. Okay, the nervous system and the hormonal system. So there are two agencies which work together. One is nervous system and the other one is the hormonal system. The nervous system is dealt here, and while the hormonal system will be dealt in next chapter. So in this chapter we will read about central and peripheral nervous system. Okay, so nervous system is basically divided into two, central and peripheral nervous. So nervous system and hormonal systems, this is what the two system will work together. Now let's go to the first part. Now what is the need of the nervous system? Why do we need this nervous system? Okay, the nervous system in our body performs following major function. Okay, the first one, it keeps us informed about the outside world through the sense organ. Okay, all whatever is going outside your body or outside the in the environment, you are able to know because of the brain and the sense organ. These sense organs, they are all attached to the brain. Okay, for example, if there is anything burning, you are able to see the fire, you are able to smell the smoke, you are able to hear the cracking sound of the fire. These are few sense organs: hearing, seeing, smelling. These three sense organs will send message to the brain and it will keep you informed. Okay, it also, the second point, it enables us to remember, think, reason out. Okay, it enables us to remember. Now you are able to remember your birth date because of the brain. You are able to think and answer. You are able to reason out because of the brain. It controls and harmonizes all voluntary activities. harmonizes all voluntary activities. Harmonizes means it sees that all the activities are synchronized, or they are together or one after the another. For example, when you are running, your right foot goes first, then your left foot. Okay, that is how it harmonizes. At the same time, you cannot run keeping your hand stationary. Whenever we run, we see that our hands are also moving. Yes, you cannot keep your hands stationary and run. So that is called harmonizes all voluntary activities. Okay, running or even holding the book in your hand while you are reading. Okay, now while I am writing, all the activities are harmonized together. Okay, when I write, I cannot see on the board and write. I have to see in my book, so that the eyes have to be on the paper. Okay, then regulates involuntary activities. Okay, there are two types of activities. One is voluntary, the other one is involuntary activities. It regulates involuntary activities such as breathing or beating of the heart without our thinking about them. Okay, we don't think and beat our heart. We cannot tell our heart to stop beating for 1 minute, or we cannot hold our breath for longer. Automatically we breathe. Okay, whenever I am talking now, when I am doing this lesson, we continuously breathe in, and at the same time we see that our heart beats and we are not aware about it. For best example, just take, you are sleeping, you are not aware of anything, your external environment as well as your internal environment. You are sleeping, your heart is beating, your digestion is going on, your respiration is going on, you are breathing in, you are breathing out, you are dreaming, all these activities are going on. Okay, so this is the first part. Now let's see the next part, that is neuron or nerve cell, the unit of nervous system. Okay, neuron or nerve cell. Now we all know the basic unit of living being is the cell. Okay, the basic unit of living being is the cell. Cells of different types combine to form tissue. Okay, tissue form tissue system, then organs, then organ system, organism, and the genus that continues. Okay, now each organ will have different cells. Okay, that is called the basic unit of the organ. Now neuron is the basic unit of the nervous system. Organ system we have, in this we have nervous system, neuron is the basic unit. Okay, so neuron is the basic unit of the nervous system, that is small cells. All the cells of nervous system will be neurons. Okay, our nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord, sense receptor, and whole lot of nerves. Okay, our nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord, sense receptor, and whole lot of nerves. The brain and spinal cord are made up of neurons or nerve cells. Okay, so brain and spinal cord made up of neuron or nerve cells. So let us learn these cells, that is the neuron. Let us see what is neuron, what is the structure of neuron. Okay, the structure of neuron. The three main parts of a neuron are cell body, dendrites, and axon. Okay, so these are the three main parts: cell body, dendrites, and axon. Now we have to study each part in detail. The first is cell body, then we have the dendrites, and similarly we will have the axon. Okay, so if I show you a picture of a diagram of a neuron, this part is the cell body. Okay, the whole structure, this structure, this is the axon, and these are the endings, they are called as dendrites. Okay, so it has dendrites, axons, and axon ending. Okay, so this is the cyton, this yellow part, these are the dendrites, and this is the axon. Okay, similarly axon also have axon and endings. Now let's see this structure first. So the cell body. The cell body also called as perikaryon or cyton. Okay, Mostly they will never give you the cell body, they will either give cyton or perikaryon in your question paper. Peri means surrounding, karyon is nucleus. Okay, peri is surrounding and karyon is nucleus. Now as the word says perikaryon, it is well defined nucleus. It has a well defined nucleus surrounded by granular cytoplasm. It has a well defined nucleus surrounded by granular cytoplasm. What is this granular? Granular means some granules will be there. Okay, it also has cell organelles like other cell. Okay, it also has the cell organelles like other cell, like mitochondria, ribosomes, then other cell organelles you can name, but centrosome is absent. Okay, centrosome is absent. This is very important point. Centrosome is absent in nerve cell. If you recall your first chapter or the second chapter, that is cell division, in that you know the role of centrosome is in cell division. It helps in cell division, and centrosome is the only organelle which is present in animals but absent in plants. So centrosome is absent because nerve cells have lost the ability to divide. Nerve cells cannot divide. Okay. Okay. The next part is dendrites. Singular is dendron. Okay. They are dendrites. Singular is dendron. These are branch cytoplasmic projection of the cell body. They conduct nerve impulse to the cyton. These are branch cytoplasmic projection. This you can see the cyton is giving out some cytoplasmic projection which is branched. These are called as dendrite, and they will, the function of this is to conduct nerve impulse to the cyton. Okay, so nerve impulse will enter this way. Nerve impulse enters the cyton through the dendrites. Then it will come out like this. Okay, then it will go to the axon. It will move down. Okay, the next one is axon. Axon, it is a long process from the cell body. Okay, it is a long process from the cell body. In few textbook they say it is the longest dendron. Few textbook they say it is the longest dendron, because this is also extension from the cyton. So this can be considered as the longest dendrite. Few textbook they say it as the longest dendrite. Okay, it varies in size from few millimeter to even more than 1 meter in length. Okay, so it varies in size from few millimeters to even 1 meter in length. Okay, so that means this is the longest cell. The neuron cell or the nerve cell is the longest cell. Okay, in most neurons the axon is surrounded by a white insulating sheet called myelin sheet. Okay, this myelin sheet covers the axon. It is like a wire. It is like a wire. You can see this is a wire. Okay, this is a wire. It's a covering. This can be your axon. Inside there are wire, and that plastic coating can be considered as myelin sheet. Okay, which is covered by an outermost sheet called neurolemma or neurilemma. Okay, that there is one more covering which is covering the myelin sheet, that is neurolemma or neurilemma. The myelin sheet shows gap throughout the length. Throughout the length of the myelin sheet there are gaps. You can see the gaps here. These gaps are called as node of Ranvier. Okay, these gaps are called as nodes of Ranvier. Okay. Then some axons have side branches called collateral. Some axon they will have side branches like this. There will be a branch called as collateral. There will be a branch called as collateral. Okay, some axon they will have branch called as collateral. The end portion of the axon have Solon's end like bulb. The end portion of the axon have Solon end like bulb. There will be axon bulb which stores certain chemical called neurotransmitter. Okay, the end portion will have bulb like structure which store certain chemicals called neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is very important. This is the place, or this is the chemical which will help in transmission of message from one neuron to the another. Okay, axon terminals are closely placed near the dendrites of another or one more neuron. Okay, so this you can see the picture. This is the cyton and this is the axon. Okay, this is a bipolar neuron. There are different types of neuron which you will study in class 11: unipolar, bipolar, multipolar, pseudo bipolar. Okay, now this is a bipolar neuron or almost pseudo bipolar. See, this axon is closely connected with the dendrites of cyton. Okay, so here the message will go like this to this neuron. Got? Okay, let's see the last part. Axon terminals are closely placed near the dendrites of another one or more neurons but are not connected. Okay, they are not connected. There is a gap between the axon terminal and the cyton. Between the axon terminal and the cyton, they are not connected. They are not connected like this. If this is the axon terminal, this is the cyton dendrites, they are not connected. There is a small gap. There is a small gap. This gap, okay, such gaps between are called as synaptic cleft. Such gaps, they are called as synaptic cleft. Got? Okay. Now, that will stop here.